Welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. It was late, so we went to sleep. We will now continue with the first case. Bloody hell, it's now 4 in the morning for him. Yeah, you're too busy laughing and looking at me to read your lines. Good work. Great start. Great start.
What was with that prosecutor, pal? Can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable, pal!
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir!
But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir!
True. Do they want now?
Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway.
Ah? Really, sir?
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door.
Is there a basketball?
I guess we'll find out why there's a basketball. What is this? What is a basketball doing here?
Sorry, I'm very distracted because I can just see Winston Payne just going, yam,
Tappy tappy head.
tappy tappy, yam.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's Mr. Portsmouth's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
And
Who likes tennis?
And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. What is a basketball hoop doing here?
Alright, didn't it used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors?
I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently.
Drag it?
I heard they wouldn't be in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it in himself.
All the way up to the 12th floor? What the fuck do you want?
It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth!
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste.
Sounds like a messy case you've got in your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again?
That would be Winston Payne.
Well, that is the running joke that no one remembers him. Hello there. Is everything alright?
Yes, sir, if you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I finally at 154 pounds.
Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room.
Oh, everything is okay, sir.
A word of advice. Stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. This office...
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again?
It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbour, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. 1202. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops, right, and these number plates slide right out, sir.
They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that he can be so easily removed is kind of... A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's sturdily made, making it near impossible to break in by force.
It's almost majestic, sir. I wish I could be as stately as this door.
Only Gumshoe would praise a door as something greater than himself. Being a detective has its own rewards and a certain virtuous value, I think. If you live up to your full potential, that's a poignant trait that anyone can admire.
I see, so you're saying, sir, me being me is the best thing I can do for everyone? Yes.
Right.
That long pause wasn't exactly reassuring, sir. I've just had a thought.
Yeah?
Number plates can be easily taken out in my place. Or if somebody switched the two.
Yeah, that could be an option. I don't see any signs of forced entry.
And according to the guard, no sign that the lock was picked either, sir. Picked, packed, whatever, sir.
Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think.
Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind.
So, what I'm thinking at the moment...
Yes. I think that's everything. Yeah,
That's everything.
Cool.
What if...
Yeah, keep going.
somebody switched the two neighbouring door plates?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something in Portsmouth's that you know, Mr. Faith was looking for?
Maybe. Dunno. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I've said that twice now.
Pardon for that.
Well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. The stitching is excellent.
Talking about luxury waiting here, those babies are also great for napping, you know, pal.
You would sleep even out here, Detective? In a hallway?
Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful?
Maybe I should give it a try sometime, to envision myself winning naturally.
There's fun under there.
It's...
Ah! Isn't that... This looks like missing O2's file, sir?
No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So, what are these old files about, sir? I guess, got something with stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
Now, that means that the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing.
I wonder why anyone would care so much about an old case.
Who knows?
That case, 10 years ago.
It's always an old case.
Hello?
I bet the thief's not under here.
I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could control themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed.
Sounds to me like somebody has already tried at least once before. Miss Bird, have you anything to add? I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. What the fuck is going on with your eyes? You look possessed. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing her my notes. The victim. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
That sounds like fun. Just once I'd love to play with them.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
On second thought, I don't think I'd fit in all that well with them.
Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective?
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry. My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of food, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal, just when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime.
How old is she?
I know! And just when I thought I'd finally found my happiness.
How old is she?
She is 23.
Fucking hell.
I wind up getting you and Detective Kunshu involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Right, let us start with... Tell me about the key. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realised it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back around 2:30 AM, sir. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those 2 times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? Ah, it's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say? Except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I'd used it that I'd left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key. There we go, new dialogue. What do you mean you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who'd forgotten his key. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah! What is it? That's right, I just remembered! That prosecutor who forgot his key! It was Mr. Portsman, sir! What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him? No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see.
And then? What happened after that?
Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 AM, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight.
Talk about suspicious!
I doubt you can say you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Well, time to look. Room 1203. I take it this is Mr. Portsman's office? Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman actually had wanted room 202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put you next door, sir.
Oh.
So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd?
What?
Yes, you have to.
Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. Ugh, why am I even wasting time thinking about this? A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood.
Kind of majestic too. Fits in really well with the ambience of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified. Just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Why, he seems so much dignified than Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified.
It's Mr. Portsmouth's personal basketball hoop.
I can't believe you put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
Well, you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't got lost trying to get to your offices since it's been here.
How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? Right, time to look at the knob. The door is locked tight.
But your credit card trick wouldn't work here, I'm afraid with.
This is the office of a high prosecutor, detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Right, well, that's everything here. Well, I guess I'll show Maggie some more stuff.
So I'm thinking at the moment, Mr. Postman wanted 1202, probably because of the files.
Potentially, yeah, so I'm just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it. It's like talking to another gumshoe. No, nothing from that. Nothing from that. Nothing from that. Did you know I'm a prosecutor? That's the prosecutor's badge, isn't it? It proves that you're really a prosecutor.
Oh my god, you got a phoenix.
Interesting. Despite all appearances, she seems to know more than Gumshoe. With that badge, even I could be a professional prosecutor. Sir, may I please try that on, just for a little bit? I don't think that would be a very good idea. Do you? I guess not. On second thought, they're actually on the same level. Yep, that's...
No, so you're not present. Oh, you can't present profiles.
No, can't present profiles in this
Damn
game.
it.
So I guess,
Yes, sir.
talking to the witnesses. About Miss Bird.
No way she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy into that accusation, sir.
Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding her security guard position.
Well, if you're only asking, that's okay. Just stand next to her and talk to her, like anyone else, sir. Hey, you can talk about whatever topic you pick. When you want to ask about evidence, all you have to do is present it to her. She has eyes, sir. And if you choose what to show her, just show her to her and off you go. I recommend showing different people different things. You'd be surprised about what they say.
Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one.
Oh, just so you know, sir, you can show me evidence in the same way too.
I do believe it's time to get down to business and ask some questions of Miss Bird.
I ignored again.
I will actually present you some stuff, Gumshoe. Right, what do you know about this?
I'm just a local detective, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to arrest it!
Is that the only talent you have? Oh, wait. No. Nothing there. Tell me about the gun!
Everything's gone, huh? It's the same model as mine.
A tool used to protect lives, yet one that can also take lives away. Those who take a gun in hand wield great responsibility. I hope you understand that.
I don't really use my gun at all, sir. The only time I would use this baby is if I know how to deal with a convict and look ultra cool.
You were doing so well until that last bit.
I had no idea I was one of these things. I mean, thought I knew everything there is to know about you, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've got a glimpse of a hidden side of Miles Edgeworth.
There's a great deal you don't know about me. At least, I hope so. Nothing there. Fuck it.
My prosecutor's badge is really tiny compared to my police badge. Oh, but it's really cool, sir. Much more cool than my badge could ever be.
There's no need to suck up to me, detective. Okay, so that's all of it. I'm pretty sure this is repeat. I was wondering about the investigation.
I've been waiting for this, not a real seasoned pro teach you how it's done.
A real seasoned pro of instant noodle cuisine, perhaps.
You know, you can always check out the really detailed important spells in more detail, right?
Yes.
And if the areas are too big, you can always use your eyes to look around. Oh, don't worry, sir. They'll only show up when you need it.
I knew that as well.
And when you think there's a contradiction or something useful, try deduction.
Yeah, we've already done this because we did that in the previous room. So I'll just skip through the rest of it. I'm pretty sure I knew all that as well, Detective.
Well, if you can remember all that, and welcome to the world of the pros. Right, W.A.'s investigator. Class dismissed.
And all I wanted was an update about the investigation. Right, Okay, so if I use my right stick, I walk only. And only very stiffly, whereas with this I can go whee and run everywhere. Well, I guess now's the time to do some deduction. So with files in disarray, another handgun, use the most stolen.
Yeah, master key stolen. We should use the master key.
See if they connect. Yep, they connect. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal! I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow. Nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I'd totally forgotten all that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right. It was around that very time that I realised the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking it up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door, then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly.
So it's open. We can go in.
But it was locked. It's locked. It's locked.
Yeah.
There's a contradiction here between the reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight?
Huh? Yeah, you're right.
Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means what, sir?
It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door that Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. You were thinking on the level. Well done. Now do your line, Clappy.
She opened a different door? But how can you prove that?
There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. The prints on the doorknob.
No,
The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Well, because it would have Maggie's fingerprints if she unlocked it.
But no, Edgeworth's door was wiped clean.
Yeah, but if she unlocked this door,
Yeah, but
her
if
prints would be on it.
Yes, if she unlocked that door, her prints would be on it. But
And Edgeworth's door was wiped clean because the thief went in there. The thief didn't go into Mr. Portsman's office, so if she unlocked that door, she would have her prints on there, so we'd know if Maggie unlocked it or not. It would be a way of saying she didn't unlock Mr. Portsman's office, she unlocked my office instead.
Hey, you, pal, do us a favor, see what you can live from this, okay? So, what'd you find out?
There's no need for such belligerent nostril-flaring, Detective.
Sir, I have ordered Mr. Portsman's image of face prints on this doorknob.
So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive.
Ah, I'm lost, sir.
Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this knob as well. Well then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? It would be Miss Bird's. Don't you find it odd that the prints of this person who unlocked the door are absent?
You mean?
Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. What have we here? I won't rest until I have looked at every suspicious thing. There is a piece of paper! What is this?
Paper, Edgeworth. Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir! Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it.
It looks like a note from the victim. I brought 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. I guess I'll catch you up later, buddy.
Yeah, it's from Mr. Portsman.
What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey! How about your game?
That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off.
Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk.
The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take notes of this. Alright, that's it. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely.
Huh? How so, sir?
In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is, sir? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth! As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman?
I knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too, pal! I suspect yourself from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir.
That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come on, May, it's time to knock on truth's door.
Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir. Alright. Let me take a gander at it. Pass it here.
What the fuck?
Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this.
It just hit him in the head.
Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe,
Who comes roaring in that you didn't do.
I will not. And the line for you, Portsman, we've got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jocks Portman, that you are the guilty party in this case.
You must be pretty upset. Getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay. If you promise to stay out of our way.
You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl.
Who ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. There was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know?
It's fucking flapping again. Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for is explaining yourself. Although, that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up.
Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything?
Mr. Portsman's rebuttal.
I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I felt bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here.
Sorry, but we are not finished yet.
Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something?
I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on. With evidence. Rebutting the rebuttal.
There.
You unlocked it with this. I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key.
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes?
Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know?
But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What?
You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened? Shall we?
I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir.
Oh my god, I know what happened!
Well, do your line and then tell me.
See, Miss Bird backs up my story.
Okay, go on.
The basketball hoop was moved. That means he moved it one door down, swapped the number plate, so it looked like Miss Bird was opening Mr. Portsman's door, not Mr. Edgeworth's.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what the TLDR is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yet what if you'd misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted?
And how do you suppose I did that?
By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily.
You're popping up fucking everywhere.
Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not in fact mine. What was it that he used to make her think it was his room? It was the basketball hoop! What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building, which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor.
Ah!
That's very true, sir.
Stop popping up!
Because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop had been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure.
I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Yeah, going a bit far off the racetrack.
Conjecture rebuttal.
No, you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
So he claims to...
Intends to claim his innocence.
So he intends to claim...
He intends! Fuck, I've missed this. He intends!
So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? Oh, fuck off.
I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket.
It's not very innocent because you keep trying to drop it off your shoulders like you're trying to get painted like a French girl. Yes, you're trying to It's Me Anastasia without actually taking off the coat.
I'm as Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears.
So you're saying you're pure and innocent because you wear a white jacket and she's dirty and guilty because hers is darker. The fuck is wrong with you? I knew you were suspicious because you have a popped collar! My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday! Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. No, you won't! That was a lie.
What are you talking about? How was that a lie?
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman.
A note?
It was left under your door. What did you not notice? And right here it says, "But you're out." You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then where were you, and what were you doing?
Ah!
Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me.
Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence.
No way!
This is proof positive you had Miss Bird open the door for you.
Take that!
I think it's that. I had your door dusted for prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints.
Her prints? What do they have to do with anything?
Let's put it this way, if she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched.
Ah!
Further, all the prints on my office doors have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office.
I am. Thank you. What's so funny, pal? Well, that look goes stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor. As he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world.
What? Miss Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already.
As I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I'd wiped that doorknob down well.
Yeah?
I'm a little obsessive compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. Which is why I wiped the doorknob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it here before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied with my work-related matters, although that's no excuse.
Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size.
Ah, but you can't prove that, can you?
Say something, Mr. Edgewood. Back me up here, sir, please. Possibly makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only just realised I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I told you sooner.
His alibi.
If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 AM, correct? And it was when you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit? But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around, I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like, you'll see it for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe!
Sir, yes sir, I'll go check on this alibi, sir, be right back! Wait, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. This guy's down in criminal affairs, and they said they saw him at around 2 AM. You see?
All of the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere.
How would you, if he was going to criminal affairs, how would you know when Edgeworth got back?
Portsman's alibi may seem perfect at first glance, but I know there's a hole in it somewhere. All I need to do is press him a little and see what comes of it. Alright, let's just press everything.
Hold it!
You are correct, it was around 2 AM.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Oh, I'm giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to office at 2.
Hold it!
It's as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. Why are you down in criminal affairs?
I know.
Hold it!
So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit.
Yep, right after that, right after I left the prosecutor's office building, I headed straight for the precinct.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you right around that time. See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Ugh. Impossible! He actually does have the perfect alibi!
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there? Sir! Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie!
Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic. It was a different person that Edgeworth bumped into.
Yeah.
Because the files were in disarray, they'd been rearranged twice. Once before and once after the murder. Portsmouth wasn't there when Edgeworth confronted the intruder. The gun that shot had only been fired once, but then there was another handgun that shot at his jacket. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight.
I like this. There are no sentences way.
Supposing that there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were attended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back.
Objection!
Mr. Portsmouth, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great! So you finally come to your senses.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality 2 culprits stole into my office tonight.
Well, what do you mean 2?
It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsmouth tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know?
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsmouth. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsmouth was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So, then, this will be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right?
Correct. And just then, when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsmouth, which is why he was in the area. The that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess.
Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do.
But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there.
Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
You're such a complimented troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be resolved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated.
There was another visitor, sir?
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen O file, right, sir?
I think that's meant to be 0, actually.
Yeah, it is. But
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
so the shell came missed up twice, and the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times.
Precisely. So, now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. Stop flapping your fucking jacket. But there's still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth! You can't let him get away with that, sir!
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point.
Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this! Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct.
Alibi part 2.
That thief you ran into should be a real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. You saw the note then.
So you think we should be out there looking for the thief?
Of course. Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions.
I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Very simple. With what he said Jim came to deliver some evidence to me. So he saw the note.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he brought?
Here are things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let it slip through the cracks.
Hold it!
A gun and a pendant.
Yes. This gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim.
And why were you taking them to criminal affairs?
There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two. But this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction.
This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out.
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I?
Nope, but I guess you can expect me to make a guess based on logical deductions.
Oh, then let's see you deduce.
Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier.
I'll press the other 2 points just in case. Sorry, the other 3.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't.
Why not?
That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files, and it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the 0 files, right?
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves?
Ah! Maybe the killer just didn't think of that earlier.
Either.
Either. Yes. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby.
Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after.
Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief.
Ah, it's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything after all.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note...
Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you had proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered.
I don't have any, no.
You see, so I insist again that I was in my office the entire time.
I assume it must be to do with this thing that I have to present. So I've pressed everything now, so... Let's see. Three pieces of evidence!
Objection!
What's the third?
Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsmouth, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece I think you should read. carefully.
Ah, it said that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces.
Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
I can't believe get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence?
It's...
You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe!
Ah, to say it, sir, I'll pry the guy out from head to toe! What? Don't come any closer! I'm warning you!
Fucking hell. Does like a 90-degree flip backwards. It's like, no! Do not touch me! No!
This is all part of the investigation, pal! So don't even think about stopping me! No! Hey, what's this? Yeah, this on him, sir!
Despite what you said, it would appear you do have something to hide.
Well, why would you hide something like that?
There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer.
Yeah.
Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. So the KG8 incident. There is blood on the tape!
Ah, it's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No, you've got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video?
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith has this videotape on his personage when you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints.
Ah!
If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
The murderous you. No, impossible. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my fucking god!
Okay, what?
Oh shit, he died! He just got mental and died!
What the fuck?
Oh, I hope he continues to have great breakdowns like this. Oh. Go ahead, Gummy.
Miss... Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the result we got away from the lab text on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And then as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir.
It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown up my hands in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail.
You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman's really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious links related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir.
Seems like nearly every fucking prosecutor is getting accused of that at this point. Forged evidence, huh?
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons.
Ooh! That guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just kind of climbed up.
Although we can be pretty certain it was to steal something.
It's just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly leads credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? That Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence. Oh fuck, what one is it? The file!
Yeah.
Take that!
The person who stole this file. The other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint?
Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Yes?
I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir.
This card!
Shelley the Killer?
That's not Shelley the
No,
Killer.
it's
It's a different calling card.
yeah. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective.
Oh! It's about that thing, isn't it, sir? That great thief everyone's talking about.
Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labelled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Miss Edgeworth, look! Someone's written on the back!
What? Let me see.
It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files!
So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office.
Oh, it's hang up now.
The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu.
How many times is he gonna make you say Yatagarasu?
Every time. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. The end. Yay! We did it! I watched a guy choke on his own gold medal. I have now gotten my achievement for completing. I did the completey. Yay!
This fucking death though, my god.
Yeah, I know.
Just the...
Oh fuck, we're going on to turn about airlines now. Jesus
Oh
Christ.
no.
Well, so that is all we have for this episode. That was... My god. So we'll see you next time when I... Oh god, this is the fucking airplane one!
Oh god, no!
So as a note, like I said, I believe in the first episode, we've never actually played this game. We've only ever seen, like, compilations, like, the best of moments of people who have played it. So we have, like, kind of a semblance of relatively who did it and, like, where it's set, but we don't know, like, the process on how to get where we go.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. But there we go. First case done. Woo! Thank you all for watching this latest addition to our growing collection of varying games and reviews, just videos in general. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Please leave a like and a comment in the comments section down below. We love hearing what you think. If you have any recommendations for either games to play or material to review, let us know in the comments and we'll do our best to get to them when we can.
If you like our content, subscribe to see more. Check out our playlists if you are looking for something new or worried you've missed an episode. Click on the recommended video appearing on the screen if you want to see more of us right now. You won't regret it, we swear. Subscribe to our Patreon to become one of our lovely beans today. However, if that is too expensive for you at this time, please consider a one-off donation on our Ko-fi. Help a poor T-wench today.
And with that, lime out.
Dragon out.
Bye!